community-supported agriculture seems to be growing well on the Gower Peninsula in South Wales. On the 18th of March 2024, the staff and directors of CSA Network UK did a mini tour of 4 CSAs to see what is happening. First stop was Felin CSA, linked to the Morriston Hospital.
Hello, my name's Simon, so I'm Project Manager, Volunteer Coordinator here at Felin, and we've been on site now for about a year and a half, I suppose, and bringing volunteers down for a lot of last year, and the volunteer group has really kind of grown nicely. We've got a really lovely mix of people from the hospital, as we're very closely linked to the health board. We lease the field from Swansea Bay University Health Board.
I started working here at the start of this year as an assistant, but it's great. I love being outdoors, and it's really easy to get here.
I come maybe every week or maybe a little less than that, which is one of the great things. There's no real absolute commitment to come on a certain day every week. So I work up at the hospital. I'm a physiotherapist, and I think one of the reasons that I got involved, I'm really keen on the link between health and well-being, and it's unique. As far as I know, we're the only health board that has a link to this sort of activity, so it feels really special to be involved.
Yeah, I'm Will Beasley. I'm a director here at Felin, also one of the growers, and I'm also a consultant surgeon in the Swansea Bay University Health Board. This field we're standing on right now is owned by Swansea Bay University Health Board, and it connects with fields and eventually ends up in Morriston Hospital there. But I was volunteering with Kylen, so I had first-hand experience of the benefits of volunteering, and I love gardening and growing, and through my sort of other health work, I'm a gastrointestinal surgeon. I'm very aware of the links between healthy food and so many sort of social, environmental and economic determinant. We're also getting a lot of involvement from some of the departments in the hospital for rehabilitation. We're doing some work with our local brain injury unit, which is fantastic, bringing them down, and there's lots of opportunities.
My name's Aoife and I'm with Blackhills CSA. We run another business, which is a sauerkraut business, so we were looking for cheap cabbages. So initially we were looking for land to grow lots of ingredients for our company, but when we heard of a CSA, what attracted us was the sustainable income side of it, and just thinking that we could know and we could have a predicted income, which was very attractive for someone who's tried to run a business on their own for a few years, and the income hasn't been predictable or sustainable. So that's what initially drove us to the CSA model. We've really been starting from the ground up. We haven't had a lot of money behind us, so juggling jobs, juggling finances, trying to get grants to help us start up. I think the financial side of it has been a bit tough. The lack of maybe large-scale growing experience as well has been a bit of a hold-up for us, but we've been learning as we've been going. We just want to make a positive change in the world. That is really what it is. We have 4 kids, we have a little granddaughter, and we just really want to make a positive difference in changing the world. So I feel like the CSA model, if loads of people got on board, that could be an amazing way of making a positive impact on your community.
We're trying to raise the biodiversity, raise the community of people around the place, and just make a real good, strong network of people and nature to get us through all the hard times that we've been experiencing, like COVID and things like that. So yeah, just trying to build up a resilient community of nature and people growing good, healthy food. A badger site is about, I think we've been told, about 150-year-old. There's about 12 adults down there. They have little ones every year, and they just bring a fantastic energy to the site. So we're going to leave that little corner for them exclusively and just leave them be.
I'm Josh, and I run a project called Summit Good based in Swansea, South Wales. So Summit Good has kind of 3 elements to it. There's Eat Summit Good, Do Summit Good and Grow Summit Good. So Eat Summit Good is that we run a CSA on site, so we have 25 shares, and that employs us to have a head grower. The Do Summit Good is our our engagement with our local community and running social programs, which are kind of based around horticulture. So I run a men's shed program, and Lizzie, who's on the site, she runs a women's shed program. So we have a lot of like footfall and groups that run from the site. And then the Grow Something Good are the shipping containers, which I'm sat behind. We have about 8 on the site now, and they're other local enterprises that are engaging in local businesses. So we have a microbrewery, a sauerkraut kitchen, a paper maker, t-shirt printer, a florist and flower kind of drying container, and lots of other projects up at the sites. We've got beehives and a schools project. So it's a real kind of bustling like community hub of multiple projects. CSA, for us, it's really important for the purpose of the site, and it's central to our gathering of people around a purpose. So our men's shed particularly, they love coming because there's that element of growing food for people, and that's the significant importance of that. The CSA model is something that we've really grown to fall in love with over the years. We try to grow vegetables to sell them locally to farm shops and to cafes and restaurants, but it's so hard when they're ripe and ready to get them out there, and that hustle and bustle of selling food when it's ripe and ready, and it's really difficult to make that viable. But with the CSA model, we found it's given us so much security and forward planning abilities that hang on, this can work, and we can pay someone to run it for us or run it with us, and yeah, it can work for everyone involved, and we can actually supply local people with food and pay someone to grow it, and it works really well.
I'm Abby, I run Big Meadow CSA. So we set up in 2019, so we're just going into our 5th season. What we're struggling with at the moment is the kind of incredibly wet winters, and then really, really dry spring, and then wet summer again has been the sort of pattern for the last couple of years. It's kind of out of our hands, but I feel like we're on the back foot a little bit in terms of trying to predict the weather and get enough water storage for the drought times. So we run twice weekly volunteer sessions, which are more popular in the spring and summer than in the winter. And we work with some local primary schools and youth groups throughout the summer season as well. Yeah, so the CSA model is actually brilliant. It means we can have a monthly income, a stable monthly income. We can pay growers' wages without the risk of kind of, if you take stuff to market, you never know really how much you're going to sell, and you've harvested stuff that you might not sell, and then that produce is gone. Whereas this model for us works really well because we just harvest what's available, we share it out with the members, and we get a fair monthly wage at the end of it. Yeah, I would recommend CSA as a business model to other growers. It kind of cuts out a lot of the risk involved in growing, and you get to know your members really well, and they kind of are supporting a bigger picture, which I think is quite important to some people.